Welcome to Daily Random Channel. Before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and leave your mark.
The Arabian Peninsula, a vast expanse of desert scorched by the sun, sculpted by the wind. This land with its endless horizons and shifting sands has always been a place of both beauty and peril. The relentless sun beats down and the wind carves the dunes into ever-changing forms. For centuries it was a land of harsh beauty, where life was a constant struggle against the elements. The people who called this place home had to be resilient, adapting to the extreme conditions. They relied on their knowledge of the land and their ability to endure. In the heart of this unforgiving landscape lay Mecca, a bustling oasis town, a crossroads of ancient trade routes. Caravans from distant lands would converge here, bringing goods, ideas, and cultures. Mecca was a melting pot, a place where the world met. Mecca was more than just a marketplace, it was a spiritual center. The Kaaba, a cube-shaped shrine, stood at its heart, drawing pilgrims from all over Arabia. It was a place of deep religious significance, believed to be built by Abraham and his son Ishmael. People from across Arabia journeyed to the Kaaba, a cube-shaped shrine believed to be built by Abraham and his son Ishmael. They came seeking spiritual solace, to perform rituals, and to connect with something greater than themselves. They came to worship their gods, hundreds of idols representing different deities. The Kaaba was surrounded by these idols, each one a symbol of the diverse beliefs that coexisted in this ancient city. But beneath the veneer of religious fervor, Mecca was a city divided. The wealth generated by trade created stark contrasts between the rich and the poor. The city was a microcosm of inequality, where opulence and destitution existed side by side. Tribal loyalties ran deep, often erupting into violence. These ancient rivalries and conflicts were a constant undercurrent, threatening the fragile peace of the city. The struggle for power and dominance was ever present. The strong preyed on the weak, the rich exploited the poor. Social justice was a distant dream, and the disparity between the haves and the have-nots was glaring. The powerful few controlled the fate of the many. It was a time of great social and spiritual unrest, a world ripe for change. The people of Mecca were yearning for something more, something that could bring them together and offer hope in a time of division. Little did the people of Mecca know that a profound transformation was about to unfold, one that would forever alter the course of history. This change would come from within their own city, from a man who would challenge the status quo and inspire a new vision for the future. Into this world, in the year 570 CE, Muhammad was born. Orphaned at a young age, he was raised by his uncle, a trader. Life was not easy for the young Muhammad, but he learned valuable lessons about honesty, hard work, and perseverance. As he grew older, Muhammad became known for his integrity and trustworthiness. He was called Al-Sadiq, the truthful one, and Al-Amin, the trustworthy one. People sought his counsel, valuing his wisdom and fairness. In his mid-20s, Muhammad married Khadija, a successful businesswoman. Their marriage was one of love and mutual respect. Khadija recognized Muhammad's noble qualities and supported his spiritual quest. As Muhammad matured, he began to withdraw from the materialism and social injustices of Meccan society. He sought solace in solitude and meditation, often retreating to the solitude of Cave Hira, a mountain overlooking Mecca. It was in this cave in the year 610 CE that Muhammad's life changed forever. At the age of 40, he received his first revelation from God through the angel Gabriel. The encounter filled Muhammad with awe and trepidation. He was commanded to recite, to spread the message of the one true God. This divine revelation marked the beginning of Islam and Muhammad's journey as the final prophet of God. It was a message of submission to the will of God, a call to abandon idolatry and embrace monotheism. Initially, Muhammad shared his revelations only with his closest confidants, his wife Khadija, his cousin Ali ibn Abi Talib, and his close friend Abu Bakr. These early converts, deeply moved by the message of Islam, became his pillars of support. For 3 years Islam spread quietly, a secret whisper amongst trusted friends and family. Converts, drawn to the message of monotheism and social justice, embraced the new faith. They recognized in Muhammad's teachings a path to spiritual enlightenment and a more equitable society. But this period of quiet reflection and covert conversion could not last forever. The time would soon come for Islam's message to be shared openly, a prospect that filled Muhammad with both anticipation and trepidation. Section 5. A light shines forth. Public preaching and the resistance of the Quraysh. In 613 CE, emboldened by divine command, Muhammad began preaching publicly in Mecca. He called on the people to abandon their idols, to embrace the one true God, and to live lives of compassion, justice, and submission to God's will. His message resonated with many, particularly the poor and marginalized, who found hope in Islam's message of equality and social justice. But it also provoked the ire of Mecca's elite, the wealthy Quraysh tribe who controlled the Kaaba and profited from the city's polytheistic practices. The Quraysh, threatened by Muhammad's growing influence, unleashed a campaign of persecution against the fledgling Muslim community. Believers were subjected to ridicule, economic boycotts, and even physical torture. Section 6. To Abyssinia and beyond, seeking refuge from the storm. Facing escalating persecution, Muhammad urged a group of his followers to seek refuge in the Christian kingdom of Aksum, also known as Abyssinia, ruled by the just King Negus. This decision was not made lightly, as the journey across the Red Sea was fraught with danger. Yet the promise of a safe haven, where they could freely practice their faith, was worth the risk. This first migration of Muslims, though difficult, demonstrated their commitment to their faith and their willingness to endure hardship for the sake of God. The refugees were welcomed by King Negus, who provided them with protection and the freedom to worship. This act of kindness left a lasting impression on the early Muslim community. The Quraysh, however, remained relentless in their opposition. They could not tolerate the growing influence of Muhammad and his message. Their frustration grew as they saw their own power and control being challenged. They attempted to negotiate with Muhammad, offering him wealth, power, and even marriage into their tribe, if he would only renounce his message. These offers were tempting, designed to lure him away from his mission and to restore the status quo. But Muhammad, unwavering in his faith, refused their offers. His dedication to his divine mission was unshakable, and he remained steadfast in his resolve. His response was simple yet profound. I shall continue to proclaim this message even if they were to place the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left. This declaration underscored his unwavering commitment to his faith and his mission, inspiring his followers to remain steadfast in their own beliefs. Section 7. The Hijra, a journey of hope and the birth of a community. In 622 CE, facing increasing danger in Mecca, Muhammad and his followers made the momentous decision to migrate to Yathrib, a city some 250 miles north. This migration, known as the Hijra, marked a turning point in Islamic history. In Yathrib, later renamed Medina, the city of the Prophet, Muhammad and his followers found a haven where they could practice their faith freely. Muhammad, acting as both spiritual and political leader, established a constitution, the Sahifa, laying the foundation for a just and equitable society. The Hijra was not just a physical journey, it was a spiritual transformation. It marked the beginning of a new era, the birth of the Muslim community, the Ummah. Section 8. Trials and Triumphs. Forging a nation through adversity. The years following the Hijra were a time of both challenge and triumph for the nascent Muslim community. The Quraysh, refusing to accept Muhammad's growing influence, waged war against Medina. The Muslims, outnumbered and outgunned, fought bravely in defense of their faith and their new home. They triumphed in key battles like Badr and Uhud, demonstrating their resilience and their unwavering belief in God's support. Through these trials, Muhammad proved to be not only a prophet, but also a skilled strategist and a compassionate leader. He emphasized forgiveness, even in victory, and always sought peaceful resolutions whenever possible. Section 9. Return to Mecca, a conquest of peace and forgiveness. In 630 CE, 8 years after the Hijra, Muhammad and his followers returned to Mecca. This time, however, they returned not as a persecuted minority, but as a formidable and united force. Yet, despite their military superiority, Muhammad and his followers entered Mecca not with vengeance in their hearts, but with peace and forgiveness. They destroyed the idols inside the Kaaba, rededicating it to the worship of the one true God. Muhammad's remarkable act of clemency, pardoning even his most ardent enemies, exemplified the true spirit of Islam, a religion of compassion, mercy, and ultimate forgiveness. Section 10. Legacy of a Prophet, the Final Sermon, and the End of an Era. 2 years after the conquest of Mecca, Muhammad delivered his farewell sermon during his last pilgrimage to the Kaaba. This momentous event took place on the plain of Arafat, where thousands of followers gathered to hear his words. In this historic address, he delivered a powerful message of equality, unity, and social justice, reaffirming the fundamental principles of Islam. He emphasized the sanctity of life, the importance of respecting others' rights, and the need for mutual support within the community. 3 months later, at the age of 63, Muhammad passed away in Medina. His death marked the end of an era, but the beginning of a legacy that would endure for centuries. He left behind a legacy that would transform the world, a religion that would grow to encompass over 1 billion followers across the globe. His teachings laid the foundation for a civilization that would make significant contributions to science, culture, and human thought. Muhammad's life and teachings continue to inspire millions today, offering a path to spiritual enlightenment, ethical living, and a more just and compassionate world. His message transcends time and geography, resonating with people from all walks of life. His message, as relevant today as it was over 1400 years ago, calls on humanity to embrace unity, compassion, and submission to the will of God. It serves as a timeless reminder of the values that bind us together as a global community.
Thank you for watching. I hope you have benefited. Follow us so you don't miss anything else from us.